likely to pass up an easy meal.
We'll be laying down some scent around this area as well. So being a predator, it's going to use its nose to hunt. It'll come in this area, and that's all we really need is for it to be there in front of the camera, trigger it and get that photograph. At night time, we're actually carrying spotlights as well. So we'll be trying to camp in areas which are close to open plains so that we can sweep a whole broad plain in the one go.
They will also be constantly filming the expedition, hoping to capture a quick glimpse of the tiger.
There'll be a camera mounted to my pack, which will be running non-stop as we're hiking. A lot of people who have sightings of Tasmanian tigers are for fleeting, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and you don't want to be sitting there trying to get something out of your pack to record that.
The team will also be looking for physical evidence, like scat and hair.
You wonder if this log here could have been a den at some stage. Looks like it's hollow up the middle.
Let me check out the other end, it seems a bit bigger up there.
Yep.
Yeah, this is better, but it'd still be a bit small though. And certainly that'd be more run down. That's just rotted, that's all that is.
The soft mud of the riverbank is ideal for preserving animal tracks.
There's a spot up here where an animal could have come down through the bush to access the water to drink.
Can you see anything there? It's been raining, so that one there could easily have been a print at some stage, but it's just it's washed away to nothing. There's no detail there at all.
Oh, we've got to go across.
Yep.
Come in and have a look.
Some prints there, yeah, for sure.
It's like claw marks in through there.
Monster Quest is searching one of the world's most remote islands, Tasmania, looking for a predator that's thought to have been extinct for almost 100 years. The Tasmanian tiger was the apex predator on this island for centuries.
Well, the Tasmanian tiger's been here for many thousands of years.
Catherine Medlock is a curator at the Tasmanian Museum in the state capital of Hobart. According to historical accounts, some native tribes of Tasmania revered the species and were hesitant to hunt it.
The Aboriginal people of Tasmania had their own names for it as well. Some of those names are Kanuna, Corinna.
This legendary creature made a strong impression on Western colonists, who were also terrified of this beast.
When Europeans first arrived here in Tasmania to settle, there were tales of a large dog-like carnivore, the meat-eating mammal that lived in the bush. Here they called it a Tasmanian wolf, Tasmanian hyena.
Farmers lost countless sheep to this monster during the harsh years of colonization. As mutilated corpses of livestock were discovered, fear quickly took hold. Rumors spread that the tiger possessed vampire-like tendencies, escalating the hysteria.
People claimed that the thylacine, when it killed its prey, that it would suck the blood from it.
In 1888, under pressure from farmers, the government placed a bounty on the tigers.
There was a price of £1 on the head of the tiger, and £1 was a lot of money in 1900.
£1 was the equivalent of $730 today, and this generous reward led to the capture and death of some 2,000 tigers. Finally, in 1930, Wilfred Batty shot and killed the last known tiger in the wild. By 1936, the last living specimen in captivity was recorded on film at the Hobart Zoo. It died on September 7th of that year. But many believe that this beast lived on in hiding. In 1946, naturalist David Flier launched a 4-month expedition in the southwest region of the island to locate and capture a new specimen.
He spent a considerable amount of time in that area, which was considered to be where tigers still would be.
Flier and his team laid snares, created scent trails, and brought in live animals as lures. He soon found a set of tracks running for about 330 feet. He believed they were unmistakably that of a Tasmanian tiger. They laid more traps and finally found signs of a struggle.
There was a trap out in the bush. He claimed that a tiger had been in the trap and then had escaped. So some little hair samples were collected from that trap.
Flier brought the hair samples back to the Hobart Museum, where they were catalogued and finally forgotten. Until 2008, when Catherine Medlock discovered a set of old envelopes.
One envelope said hair from Mrs. Flay, 1946, and I thought, bingo, there it is.
Now the Munster Quest science team will test the samples to see if the tiger did indeed outlive its supposed demise. Medlock has selected 7 of the hairs for analysis and has taken them to the University of Adelaide in Australia. There she will meet with a hair identification expert.
These are the hairs, Georgiana.
I guess one of the first things we'll look at is just the gross morphology of the hair.
To establish a reference, the zoologist puts a known Tasmanian tiger's hair under the microscope.
This is a hair from another animal, from a museum specimen.
Yeah, the Tasmanian tigers have a wide medulla lattice, and that tends to continue all the way down the hair.
Hair is usually composed of 3 layers. The medulla is the central part of the hair shaft. The scientists note the composition and then proceed to compare the samples to those of native Tasmanian species. Finally, they test the Flier samples.
Okay, so let's look at our mystery sample.
Should this hair prove to be thylacine hair, it would be evidence of the animal post-1936.
The Munster Quest expedition team is approaching the location where David Flier collected his samples.
There were a number of sightings in the 1930s, and then the next major expedition was in 46 with David Flay. There's been very few expeditions in that region since. I'm going this way.
The team believes that if the Tasmanian tiger survived the hunting, it would have become increasingly solitary.
With that sort of hunting pressure, we've artificially selected for the animals to survive those that basically avoid human presence. What did you see, Michael?
I think it was a paddy melon.
Yeah.
Ducked in under this pile of scrub here.
Southwest Tasmania is a wild territory that harbors a rich variety of wildlife.
You see what I mean? Just before the eyes.
And a number of poisonous predators.
A bite from a snake, if you get bitten 2 or 3 days away from the nearest medical facility, especially if it's in poor weather and you can't get a helicopter in to get you out, you're in real trouble.
All right, we got one up here.
There's a snake on the side of the track.
There he goes.
There he goes off into the bush.
Oh.
Let's have a look where he went.
Tasmania has 3 species of poisonous snakes: the tiger, copperhead, and whitelip.
Within the space of maybe half an hour, your breathing is in real trouble and you could die very quickly without treatment. He went just down in through the holes down there.
Well, most likely a tiger snake.
He must have felt our vibrations as we've come along.
The thing is, we've still got to go through this clearing.
It's about where we're going in.
And yeah, that's full of snake habitat and a bit dangerous for us.
The team notices something in the bush.
Some prints there, yeah, for sure.
Claw marks in through there. And here, moving through, you can see it. We might keep heading up there and see what else we've got.